Next to me, we have the one and only.
Oh,
God
man.
Blaze. How you feeling, man?
Oh, you do me too much justice, man. Yo, guys, I am doing great. It is our last fight night before San Diego, and as you see, we got the bowls on the table.
Yes.
Where we'll be doing our pool draw at the end of the night. And I saw
can't
you
wait.
guys' votes on Twitter as well, and I think I'm drawing.
You won?
Yeah, I think I'm drawing
It was
fully tonight.
great.
I gotta go look at it though.
All right. But leading up to that, the pool play, we actually going to take a look at our schedule. Tonight we have two really good games. Spacestation Gaming going head-to-head against Lucent Esports. And after that, Optic Gaming and Ghost Gaming.
Yes, it is. We got Optic Gaming and Ghost Gaming there. Then as you see, our San Diego draw show. Now, it doesn't show up on that schedule, but after we do our draws, we will have Ribs kind of chiming in on his input later on tonight. You know, we can't get enough of that good old Ribs analysis, so that's going to be a fun one. But focusing up on our first match is Spacestation Gaming versus Lucent Esports. And this Lucent squad, man, they've been making some noise over there in the EU region, but,
They've been
you know,
making
even with
strides.
Spacestation Gaming,
Yes.
you know, replacing March, bringing in their own Jack
Yeah.
as well. This team has not lost a beat.
They haven't lost a step at all.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say that. Leading into this game, Spacestation Gaming, yes, I've had some words about them, thought that they were going to be as good without Marsh.
Yeah.
Jack is an entirely different player than Marsh. He brings a different type of skill set, but he brings a lot to this team. The thing about him that makes him so important for the Spacestation Gaming roster is that he plays for his teammates and he's not selfish.
Yeah, now let's take a look at our map order as well. And as you're going to see, we're going to have Harbor and Lift both banned out. Then we're going to have Foundation, Dam, and Forge Blitz. So this is going to be a spicy one, especially with Foundation and Dam in the mix. I know, especially when Marsh was on the team, Foundation was one of Spacestation Gaming's weaker maps.
Yeah.
And it probably still is. We'll see how Jack impacts his squad on Foundation. But and if it is still one of their weaker maps, I respect the pick. It's right before San Diego.
Big time.
Get some of your weaker maps in where you're in these pressure situations, force the best out of your team, and see how you perform. It's going to be a good one. And I will say, too, as well, especially with Jack joining that roster, the one thing is that I was always curious about was his actual skill. Because Marsh was a very
dog. Don't get me wrong.
he was a very, very talented player. But I'm still, want to see if Jack was going to bring that same intensity. And so far, so good, because this unit as a whole has not dropped a beat.
Oh, hands down. But also, Lucent Esports, you can't say much more about players like Reaction and Cougars. I really love this roster. But, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. First map of the game, Foundation on board with Cougars. We see a lot of smoke placement, some lands fire out. In this initiative, they're going to try to get each other weak while they go on for the kill. You see 4 players from Spacestation Gaming going straight into Pistons. Here goes Hydro. He gets taken out by Cougars. 2 kills straight for Lucent Esports. And it is an absolute bloodbath right now for Zorkos. He sees himself in a 1v2 situation. He's
Okay.
in a 1v1. He gets the kill. He gets the kill on Cougars. Now, in the 2v1 against Jack, they were able to get Jack down, and Lucent Esports wins the initial.
Ooh, Zorko's doing a good job getting inside that Pistons hill and helping out his teammates and getting the kills in which is needed. So now, Spacestation Gaming, they're going to start the group up. Usually when we see a team get slayed out right away early on Foundation, we see that next rotation come in top tables and they start making a home hill push. Now we're starting to see Spacestation actually group up on their top cave side, which is currently the area they're pushing down now. And they're looking to kind of contest from this B hill. But the reason why, especially a lot of top North American teams don't push from this angle, because look at the setup of Lucent, right?
Beautiful.
You can't, it's going to be hard for you to break this B hill.
Yeah.
And they're backing up, letting them get this position inside H, and they're slowly going to pick them up. They say, we double dog dare you to touch this B hill. If so, you're going to get dropped. And I'm loving the patience coming out of Lucent. Spacestation Gaming is realizing that this was a mistake to go for this B hill, but we'll see if they can make the best out of it.
Phelpsy with the aggressive play. He runs in with an after. He gets it down on Cougars. Actually, well, no, not able to get the kills, but Krim is going to go ahead and clean up that kill. And in the 2v1, Phelpsy, Krim head-to-head against Cougars. Cougars, he's going to try to make the most of it. Can he at least get a shot on him? No. Phelpsy with the nice down, and Spacestation Gaming back on the hunt. 1 hill to 2.
Yes, it is. And you got to see them. That push actually did work out for Spacestation Gaming. If I got to give any criticism to Lucent, it's that you got to be careful with how much real estate you're willing to give up in those tower positions around that B hill. If you want to drop back to your H, you can. But if you guys see me talk about on my screen sometime, the reason why you don't give up that type of real estate is because you give them that opportunity to make a better play. They were uncomfortable on their H when Lucent was being aggressive, but once they kind of took that foot off the gas slowly, Spacestation was able to find that opening to push through. Now they got control over their home hill. So what we just saw with Space Station Gaming controlling this B hill, we're starting to see Lucent. They wanted to make that push for the home hill's top tables, but Space Station was waiting for them. And now they're going to start to group up and look at the push down their cave side and trying to get back this B hill. But you take a look at that scoreboard, it is Lucent who is in the lead, but I do not believe they can win off of 2 hills.
Well, I don't know, play Space Station Gaming, 2 hills to 1. They were down pretty big trying to recap that B hill, which can be the reason why they might lose this first round. But on board with Phelps, he sees 3 members. He's Lancer and Lucent Esports. They set up a perimeter. They're trying to hold on to their hills, and they want to win off the points. And by being patient and taking smart plays such as that, Fracture takes out Phelpsy. Lucent Esports can actually run away with the first round and actually set the tone for this matchup. Domination coming through.
Yeah, you're going to see it. Lucent going to get the first round on the board. The one thing I can say about them during this entire first round is that I feel like they stayed very calm throughout the chaos in which we see in a lot of round ones. With it being our lowest respawn time in round 1 and round 7, we kind of, see it a little bit more chaotic. A lot of big fights, very, very scrappy. But I felt like throughout that entire matchup, Lucent was super calm. So now, let's see. You got Hydro there rocking that new Space Station emblem in the top corner. Definitely looking very, very beautiful on that one.
It's cute. I like it.
It is cute. Actually, this is the first
I like the colors.
Yeah, this is the first time I actually kind of seen the logo as a whole.
Yeah.
And I must admit it's very, very nice. All right.
Shout out to Space Station one time.
Yeah, getting them checks on Twitter.
Hey, there you go. Buy the weapon skins. They're out, baby.
There you go, baby. All right. Now, let's see. You're going to have so far Zorko still leading the top of that kill feed.
Wait, Blaze.
Yeah.
I don't think they noticed it if they haven't been paying attention here. So if you take a look at our scoreboard, we actually showed the number of deaths now.
Yes, this is actually the first time.
Yes, the first
I
time on
forgot
Fight
about
Night.
that. This is actually the first time in which they're actually on the screen.
All right, so for instance, Zorko, he has 5 kills. Yes, 24 seconds dead, but only 3 deaths, which is going to be also important when you're trying to tell storylines and matchups. And I really love that addition in Gears of War.
It really is, and we can pinpoint to it. Even if he has 3 deaths, I can tell you at the same time that one of those deaths came at the end of the round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I can tell you if it's meaningless or if it was important or whatever and whatnot. Just by having that extra number there, I can't wait. The stats in San Diego are going to be insane. We had some great stats. Shout out to the man Prodigy out there.
The God.
And we had some great stats out there in New Orleans. But I cannot wait to see the KDAs in San Diego, especially as we go into Championship Sunday. It's definitely going to be fun to have. I know Waldo out there, he wants to play with that as well. So, but in this one, you still got Lucent up 1-0, and you did see Space Station drop those Hammerbirds down, That's going to be one of Phelpsy's go-to pickups, He loves those secondary weapons as well. Love bringing the pressure towards his teammates. You're going to see Craze get some shots in, but here we go. Reaction, getting a super aggressive mid-map. Trying to get this down, can't make it happen. A little extra support coming in there from the Space Station Gaming players to help secure that down on Reaction. Now with 2 hills in Space Station Gaming's favor, you're going to start to see what does Lucent want to do. They're waiting for some of their players to come off respawn. It's looking like, yep, they're going to be grouping up to make this push towards top tables. Now Space Station are going to be in position. But this is one of those plays in which if you got to make it, you got to make it quick. But you see the triangular fire coming out from Space Station right there. You got people at fountains, people at top tables, people at statue. They're getting trapped in their spawn. This is a great setup from Space Station.
Yeah, there's nothing that Lucent Esports can actually do. They're going to have to go out, make a push, save their smoke grenades for the right moment for that push, and try to free up some real estate because at this very moment, Space Station Gaming, they're going to win off the points alone.
And this is one of the moments where I hate when my teammates hesitate. Because when the push is called to hate, you gotta throw smokes and go.
Yes.
This is why you have to go, because if you don't utilize those smokes being tossed, if you don't use that smoke screen for something good, you won't have any more smokes on the map. You have to die. And when you're in these type of situations, if you die, you get trip capped. So when a push is called, even if it's called at the wrong time, you still have to commit once the smokes are thrown.
Yeah. I always said when I played back then, Blaze, listen, even if you think the call is wrong, you're going to have to commit with your team because you never know what could happen. In that split second of just hesitation or just denial in a strat or to push, it could mean so much in your game. So heading in round 3, Fracture's looking for a weapon to put down.
All right.
I wonder if we're going to see a boom shot down low.
You know, I like to see my power weapons early on, especially when it's the European teams playing, but we usually don't get that a lot. It's usually go support weapons, then nades. They like the big power weapons towards the later rounds, and we're going to see that same type of pattern on this weapon selection process. Why? It's just the play style of the region, because, you know, I can show you the top North American teams where their first weapon placement would have been a drop shot or a boom in one of the key main locations in which they want to choose to fight for the rest of the game, compared to, you know, a Latin American weapon set where, you know, they may be going for those heavy support weapons like the Marxa or the Retro, but also as well they're starting to adapt more to that North American play style. Well, my fault, more of that U.S. play style of, you know, kind of putting that boom shot down right away or putting that drop shot down right away.
All right. And here we are with Phelps. He's 8 kills, only 3 deaths, 9 kills and 3 deaths as he gets a beautiful double kill here in the initial round. He's going to move ahead. He's going to cap the A hill and try to hold off Lucent Esports from getting their own hill. But Krim able to solidify this domination by winning the 1v1. He was able to take out Physics. And there you have it. Domination in only 33 seconds. Less than a minute, Blaze. Spacestation Gaming. The one thing about this team is that once they get going, they're going to be very hard to stop. Their momentum is great. They're great individually. They know how to take advantage of any weakness that you put out there for them. So Lucent Esports, they're going to have to be really smart about this weapon placement to come back and top the game.
All right, let's see what you want to do. This has to be a Pistons placement at this point. You need to go Pistons or Statue. I think nobody wants big team fights on Statue if you choose to put something down. If you put a snipe there, sniper nades there, that could work. I don't see them putting any explosive weapons on Statue, especially in the first half. So yeah, they're gonna end up putting a torque bow down on Pistons. So from this point, I don't think we'll see anything crazy go down on Statue when we end up getting towards our next weapon placement. And I do believe we're gonna end up having 2 changes on this map because, well, at least 1 change out when we get towards that round 6. Based off the amount of weapon slots that are left, because, you know, as you go through a round, as the team loses a round, you X out the first one. At that point, you have the amount of weapon placements you can put down. So in round 6, we'll be able to have a weapon removed off of it. But as you see, Reaction getting himself in a power position. He had a nice little Lancer angle to try to help out Physics mid-match. So he's able to get it down, but Physics can't get anything else from it. And in the process, Reaction will fall as well. His teammate looking to defend him. That's going to be Cougars. He's going to back up and just make sure that Spacestation can't get position on their side of the map. But he sees his teammates trying to fight through that mid-cut.
Yeah, the one thing I want to point out there, Blaze, even though we have this new time dead stat in there, excuse me, you know, number of times dead, you want to be aware of the position that these players play. For instance, Reaction, he was a support heavy player right there in the initial. Yes, he's not going to have a lot of opportunities to stack up on kills, and he's going to have a little bit more deaths if his teammates die early. So it's kind of smart to, you know, pay attention to what positions people play and count stats from there. But here we are on Physics, 2 kills. He's going to throw a smoke and he's going to try to make a push, but he's unable to. Spacestation Gaming, they're set up at top tables. They're not allowing him to push at the moment. But Lucent, they're going to try to be aggressive as he pushes in this 1v1. He gets the back A. He backs up. Unable to get the kill on Phelpsy. But he's still teasing because he wants that fight.
Yeah, you see him just tease him there a little bit. You see Physics just trying to work himself out of a difficult situation. He's going to choose to go back to his teammate for the revive, but wasn't able to get close enough. And here go Cougars with this torque boat. He gets 1 stick. Looking to put him down on the hill to force the pressure off of it. He's going to put another one down. Can't connect, but maybe he puts some damage out with the torque, with the splash damage coming from that bolt, and he finds another one on Craze. You see Lucent just trying to get on top of this home hill. With 2 down, they need to work together to at least get this soul player off the hill, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But even in this moment, I would still stay aggressive, especially if Cougar still has bows. Maybe pushing out towards top tables, getting a few more sticks on some of these players that's trying to retreat back to that home hill. But as you see, Lucent just wants to lock down that 2 cap, and I respect it.
All right, Fracture slowing down the gameplay, picking up a hammer burst. He sees that his teammates need help in Pistons in the 1v4. Physics in an impossible scenario. He gets taken out by Krim. So Fractures, he reads that call. He's going to run over to see, but they're going to rotate. They're going to try to get the double home hill cap. And with Fractures offering support across the map, he's now going to have to protect his own home hill from being overtaken by Spacestation Gaming.
Now you're seeing how effective this hammer burst is at long range. Just getting some good damage in on your opponents. Fractures is going to end up taking this and rotating back towards his fountains though. So, as you see, a 2-hill advantage for Spacestation Gaming. They're kind of pressed up a little bit towards the cave side because they're trying to, you know, if Lucent's going to break this B hill, it's going to be levels to it. It's going to be levels to this defense. you're going to have to make multiple pushes to try to get through. And they got through the first tier, looking to get through the second tier of this Space Station game in defense, but it's just too hot, and they could not get through. That's a big double for them, so that B hill will be locked down now. Up to Cougars to try to make something happen. Top tables delivers a big shot, but not able to get that down on that player. And there you go. That's going to be 5 dead on the side of Lucent. Space Station gaming all around this home hill. They're going to be locking this round putting this round on the board as well.
Yes, one thing Lucent Esports has to do in order to make this a game against Space Station Gaming, they're going to have to jump out and be aggressive. They can't let Space Station Gaming run around the map and do whatever they please. Space Station Gaming, they're a team that love the Wolfpack mentality. They're going to rush in every single spot on this map. In the group, as you saw, 4 players in Pistons. So, Lucent Esports, taking a look at their weapon drop now, they're going to have to take a note of that to bounce back.
So I said we got 2 more weapon placements on this map, and I said nothing crazy is going to be put statue, yep. And so we're just going to see a block and just see this torque bow down on the Pistons. That's still going to be the main focal point. Also, you have that neutral hill that be there as well. You have the torque bow. That's what both these teams are going to be fighting for.
Completely different than how they play in America.
Very, very different. You know, and the thing is, when it comes down to the North American teams, if you win a team fight, you want a weapon. You want to be able to pick up a weapon that you know that can guarantee yourself some kills and possibly end the game. And the easiest weapon to use and the most lethal is probably going to be the boom shot. Next up is going to be drop shot. Then it's going to be torque bow. So, you know, they're not afraid of that lethality because you win it as a team, you get that power weapon as a team, and, you know, 8 out of 10 times you can close out that round early on. And we know with escalation, if you have a moment to get to put the nail in your opponent's coffin and in that round, you take it every chance you can get.
All right, Felsi. Take over this home hill. He gets the Lancer shot at him and he backs up. He avoids a possible 1v2 scenario, so he throws an ensign on the hill for just a moment. A-Hill isn't able to get captured, but Krim with the long-range torque bow able to take out Fractures. You're going to see Space Station Gaming go ahead and pick players away until they're able to fully capture A-Hill, which is next.
You see the domination coming through. Space Station will get another one on the board. So, I'm curious on what Lucent wants to do on his weapon placement. I think they're going to go back to that torque bow and say, hey, you know what? Let's put something different down. It's either going to be that or they're going to actually swap out those secondaries. The other option is replacing the nades out. That's a cop-out, but, you know, they're going to go for that torque bow right away and say, hey, you know what? Let's switch that out and put the boom down. And, you know, you look at the amount of rounds the boom shot has, which is 2, the drop shot 4, and the torque bow having 5. You know, the weapons with the less amount of rounds is going to be the most lethal, right? So that's going to be that boom shot there in this situation. The torque bow, you can definitely get more kills out of it, but, you know, you got to have that skill. You need to have a player on your team that's not going to miss those bows. And Cougar was doing a good job with it in that round, but that boom shot is going to be more of a guarantee. You see this team fight still slowly starting to go in the way of Space Station. We'll see if Reaction can make the play mid-map. Looking to get one down. He's going to get it. Looking to push again and get another one. Can he save his teammate? He cannot. Zorkos goes down. Now Reaction.
Get the second, big fella.
Can he get the third, though? Uh-oh, the fire's blocking him off. Can't do it.
So close. Reaction unable to do so. The aggressive home hill player for the Lucent Esports roster with the score of 4-1. Space Station Gaming swept up that initial fight. And they're looking to fight for more to win this next round. So, pick up a hammer burst. Lucent Esports have their eyes around Pistons, offering shots on Craze. They're going to scare him away a little bit as 2 players run in to capture this BL to end the domination. Cleaning up Craze. You see another fight in the middle. Cougar's doing a great job offering support for his teammates, unable to get it down on Jack as he lives to fight another second.
Yeah, man, that was a 22-second respawn round. This currently is a 22-second respawn round. So Jack just staying alive as long as he did just gave a higher percentage for his team to spawn up and get that home hill. And that kept him alive in his game. Even though he did die in the end, he accomplished his mission, giving his team another shot at trying to win his round and going to the half, 4-2. Wait, it's a lot better than 5-1, I'll tell you that much. But let's see in this one, can Lucent, playing off their back hills currently, and as I say that, actually, I take that back. They do have 2 hills at their advantage. So not playing on their back hills in this round, but as a whole on this map.
I'm going to see them make a line right here. They know where Spacestation Gaming is trying to push. They're going to have to hold this down, Blaze. I'm going to see them hold out Lancers, keep track of numbers, communicate that with their teammates, and try to see where Spacestation Gaming is trying to overload all numbers. As you see one player rotate back to stash.
Yeah, you made a valid point, right? You have it's a few key locations, one being top tables, another being mid-map, and another being on the K side. So 3 locations where you have these sight lines that have to be covered at all times.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly calling out numbers and having people you see, your entire team can get the mental picture of how your opponents are moving, and if your entire team is able to get that picture, then everybody is able to effectively make the next move in what you need to close out the round. And because this game comes down to a battle of seconds at times, so the quicker you can get everybody on the same page, the better.
All right. Fracture saves his teammate by taking out Crim with a headshot, but the boom was picked up with Jackson. He picks up his first kill with the boom on Cougars, getting the second on reaction. He's going for the third, cleaning up the kill on Fractures with the fourth in sight. Physics might be the latest victim. Hydro in the back to offer support.
I like it.
Oh, Physics takes out Jack. Jack being overly aggressive, but it costing him his life. Hydro now in the chopping block, he gets Lancer. He's pretty much full red. Zorko's unable to finish it up, and with domination coming through, the cheeky flank by Phelpsy is going to look possible. That Spacestation Gaming takes round 6.
Cougars is making a proper play because he knows he needs to get to the home hill. He's the closest person to get there and get the decap. He's trying to get that stun, trying to stay alive for this decap. But the reinforcements come to mid-map, but his help comes as well. Nobody's currently decapping that B hill at all either. So this will be another Spacestation Gaming round in which they're able to close out in the final few moments. Going up 5 to 1.5. Outside of that first round, it's been all Spacestation Gaming so far.
You know what, Blaze, heading up to San Diego. It's next week. I want to see more from Lucent Esports. I want them to show Spacestation Gaming that they're not pushing. Because Lucent Esports are coming in second best European team, going against every other nation out there. I want to see them really put on the show and actually show what they're capable of here on Fight Night.
The one thing I've noticed, you know, it's all nice. Spacestation Gaming, they're up 5 to 1 in this one. But, you know, to me, they're still playing adaptive, right? You know, they're not taking control of this series, but, you know, they're just adapting to everything that their opponents is doing. And when you're in a lead like that, it's going to happen. On their first weapon selection, I would have rather them have more of an aggressive selection, you know? But it hasn't really mattered, right? They've won 5 straight rounds throughout this entire matchup, and they're just saying, hey, this is just light work for us right now.
The Crim as the last remaining member on Spacestation Gaming that's live with a great stat line of 15 kills and 6 deaths. He's doing extremely well. He's a slayer for this roster, trying to make a clutch but unable to do so. He gets down and taken out in the 1v2 scenario. So Lucent Esports, up in numbers, up in hills, up in points. They have this round in their hands. They're able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, they're going to have to capitalize on it. You know, but the reason why I made that comment about Spacestation Gaming being more aggressive on those weapon selections, Vale, is because I feel like when it comes to them playing against North American teams, they're just always reacting to what North American teams do rather than setting the tempo of those matches. And that's
the difference.
That's the one thing in which I'm looking to see can they improve on, especially going into San Diego, because if they can do that correctly where they say, hey, this is the tempo we're going to set, this is going to be our game and you're going to play to it, and force these North American teams to play to it, that'd be beautiful, right? That means that they're really taking control over these series and they're becoming more of a dominant team and more of a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my gosh. Huge team push by Lucent Esports to recap this home hill, taking out both Craze and Phelpsy, this dynamic duo of Spacestation Gaming. Now 30 kills straight for Lucent Esports. They're absolutely on the roll. Fractures rotating across the map. You see 2 players on the east side. Crim trying to stop this transition. Here he goes. He offers a shot and runs away. Cooper's in the 1v2 scenario, unable to do much. Gets taken out. He was absolutely sandwiched in this E-fight. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, that was a great pickup there by Crim to help his teammate out, making sure he can try to keep this into like a 2v2 fight. Close quarters on his statue. They're going to scare away some of these Lucent members, force them back out of that power position, and now they take all the angles, and they're going to acquire 2 more kills after that one. They know it's 3 people dead. They're going to end up locking down this old home hill of Lucent. They're going to take care of the 4th member, and they know that there's going to be 4 players coming off this respawn. This should be a kill shot from Spacestation Gaming to go match point. If they don't go match point off of this one, they're going to put Craze back to fight this 1v1 off the home hill. Lucent can win off of 2. Lucent might be able to clutch this
Lucent
round
can
up,
actually
actually.
clutch this up if they can hold on to the D-Hill.
You got this player over here in the back, and the Cougars causing a lot of commotion, drawing 2 players to him. That means that his team has a man advantage on the other side of the map.
Okay. I thought he was going to do a blaze.
Even with that man advantage on the other side of the map, do they get the job done? Yes,
That's
they
it.
do. So big up here to Cougars. But what I wanted to see at a Space Station, they had to work those numbers a lot quicker than what they did. You know, now granted that was a 12-second respawn round.
Yeah.
Once they got 3 down consecutively and they got that 4th, I really wanted them to get aggressive and at least get that home hill. Get that home hill from Lucent and then get theirs decap, but they just was not able to do it in a good enough time, even after getting those kills consecutively. But we'll see. Space Station, they go for those dual spots once again. And you can also kind of take it as them saying, hey, we don't care what you put across mid-map. We're ready for any fight. But we just really want to just control what kind of goes into these dual slots. And, you know, I respect it. You know, hey, Lucent could be a team that maybe loves those Marxes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe love those retros. Like I said, more of those aggressive secondary weapons. They do got some Spaniards on their team. So, you know, we definitely know they love those Marxes. But let's see.
Reaction in a favorable 1v1 against Hydron. Gets a nice shot, but Hydron was able to finish him up, getting a kill on reaction. So with a Lancer out, Hydron's going to try to hold the statue area with no teammates near him. He's unable to run away, so he's going to try to make the most of the situation, channeling all of his fire on one player, taking out Zorkos with a nice one-shot before he gets down. Lucent Esports in control of the whole bottom area. We're going to see if they can make a move to gain more map control.
All right, now, you got Cougars. Cougars taking some damage. Dropping back, he's pinched in a 1v2 situation. He falls easily. So, Space Station Gaming locks down that neutral hill of E. They have their home hill as well. Now, this should be a no-brainer from Lucent. I would have started being super aggressive on the home hill of Space Station. Try to get to it if you can. But you're slowly starting to see that stack. You got 3 members kind of stacked over there towards the top end of the map. If you can recognize that and kind of see where those numbers are, and you can notice that you only got 2 people on these top tables, Lucent, they recognize it now, and now they're making a push. They're trying to work their angles, get control over statue, cross out these guys on top table to make these some easy kills for them, but it's a lot more difficult than what it needs to be. You see Space Station standing up strong. They get another kill in the books as well. Looking for a 3rd. Jack wants to hit this back A so bad.
Get the next one, Jack.
He wants to hit this back A.
Get the next one.
Oh, he's going to get pushed out, but you will still see reaction fall. And that was just Lucent not able to capitalize on that push. They had the numbers. They had 3 players in position. It just comes down to all three of those players being on the same page, making that aggressive push to clear out those guys on top tables. But they just wasn't coordinated enough.
The one thing I like about this Jack pickup for Space Station Gaming is that he had big shoes to fill, replacing Marsh, and he absolutely did it. He was great at it so far. He's been clutch. He's been a great player. He hasn't opened up his mouth much on social media, and that's great. You know, he's focused on the prize, and he's not worried about what anybody else says. That just shows the mindset of the Space Station Gaming roster.
All right, let's see. Crazed. He falls as well. So, as you know, you take a look at the scoreboard. Space Station Gaming, they just need 1 hill under their control. They have E. We see a few players kind of stacking up towards that home hill, but what about the other side of the map? They still got to make an incredible play on D, and E gets decapped. So, they have to get up this hill. They don't got much time to do it in. Fractures is leading the charge. He's taking a lot of damage. He's trying to give his teammate a clear opening, but you see those 4 players on top of that D hill from Space Station Gaming. And they knew what they needed. They just needed 1 hill, and they did get that hill.
Space Station Gaming 1 round away from securing the first map win here on Fight Night. Lucent Esports, they got some catching up to do, Blaze. So what do you think that they're missing? Is it a weapon drop, play style? What exactly is wrong right here?
Their rotations need to be quicker. They need to be on the same page when it comes down to those rotations. The one thing is that I can't say about Lucent is that you have 3 native languages on that team. You know, so you have French, Spanish,
you have a lot going
and
on.
then you have English.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the 3 languages in which they speak natively. So, but the whole team is communicating in English, and it's only one native English-speaking person on that team, and that's Reaction.
Yeah.
But you still have to get over that language barrier. Especially when you put a team of this caliber together, because all these players are very, very talented. But as long as they can be on the same page, they'll be looking good by the time San Diego rolls around.
Not only that, but the skill gap between Spacestation Gaming and the rest of the community over there overseas is pretty big. And Lucent Esports, they're able to hold a candle to this team, which says a lot. But on the initial round, 2 kills straight for Spacestation Gaming. M-Bar picked up by Phelpsy. We've seen with the M-Bar before. He makes huge plays left and right. The guys are walking highlight reels. You hear the gun firing off. He takes out Reaction. All right, with the first kill. Now top tables. He's able to look out the whole map. D-Hill is the only thing that's stopping Spacestation Gaming from securing their 7th round. Domination stopped for just a moment. With all players down for Lucent Esports, map 1, Space Station Gaming.
Yeah, Space Station. They came out swinging 5 straight rounds in a row after round number 1. And you take a look at it, they lost both of those 12-second respawn rounds.
Yeah.
They lost rounds 1 and they lost round 7.
Look at the stats. You see a lot of double negatives, almost triple negatives.
I will actually say that is a flawless map, because if it's any 2 rounds that I want to lose, it's rounds 1 and it's round 7.
I like to lose.
Because that's the first weapon placement in which you get on each half, right? And those are going to be your 12-second respawn rounds, the more scrappier ones. And both times it was Space Station Gaming prioritizing those dual weapons placements. So everything worked out the way that they wanted to.
I feel like the thing with Lucent Esports and Space Station Gaming is that Lucent tries to play extremely passive at times. I don't know if they're worried about the big push, they're scared or whatnot. I feel like they need to match Space Station Gaming, because if you play passive against a team like that, you have to play to win, not to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Difference.
And I agree. Like you said, you
have to set the tone.
Play to win, play not to lose is so important, especially when you're being aggressive and you're being passive in those matchups.
Yes, but ladies and gentlemen, map 2 will be underway after this small break.
tag is Cougars, and I'm the captain of Lucent Esports. Yeah, actually my team is really good now, yeah. Being one of the best EU teams, it's like a dream comes true. Our priority is the energy with us. We feel the energy and the potential in the events. People think that we are not at the level, at top level, yeah. We just don't care about the opinions of the other people. We prefer to prove it in the events.
And there you have it from Lucent Esports. The one thing I like about that, Blaze, is that he
Probably the same
doesn't
thing
care about what anybody says.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, oh, you know, they should have picked up Mark. They should have done this and that. They're confident in themselves.
Yeah.
And that's important for a top team.
And that's very, very important for a top team. I think that's one of the most important skill sets you need, especially on esports at any scale, is that you just cannot care about the opinions of others, and you cannot care who's sitting across from you. You just got to go out there and play your best as a unit every single time.
Hands down, and Lucent Esports, they definitely have what it takes to dethrone this Spacestation gaming team, being the top European team out there. I feel like once they, really grasp what makes them successful, they're going to flourish. They're going to shine.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe when Lucent takes down Spacestation Gaming, they can get a cool Spacestation Gaming skin like they got today.
Right.
We actually had 2 new esports skins
They're
come out.
so nice.
We had the Elevate and Spacestation Gaming skin come out. So now you kind of see our whole collection. We got Elevate, Ghost Gaming, Fire Knights, Echo Fox, Optic, Space Station, Rise Nation, and Fable out on a marketplace. So yo, go support your favorite team, you guys. All right, go buy those weapon skins up. Support your players, support the org, support the scene.
Yes, that Elevate skin, by the way, it's beautiful.
That was nice. I like
sexy.
that one in the Space Station.
It's so nice.
Definitely like those especially from the first editions, from the first models we had till now.
Yeah,
Definitely
right.
sick.
Hands down. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna head into map 2 soon. But Blaze, watching this Lucent Esports team over the weeks on Fight Night, what are they missing? What do you really want to see from them heading into map 2 against Spacestation?
I just want to see more cohesiveness from the roster. These guys have to get on the same page. Now they will have those language barriers, but the one thing that I can say is that they have the skill and they have that swagger. They have that attitude about themselves. So that's great. It's just making sure that everybody is firing as a unit and on the same page, working together. And every single time they play together in these high pressure matches, they get better at it each and every match. So I'm looking to see how they're going to do in San Diego.
Oh yeah, I feel like these type of games are going to be decided from the initials. Lucent Esports are going to have to come out aggressive. They're going to have to come out playing their own game. I don't want to see them being passive at all against the Spacestation Gaming roster. You're going to have to set the tone, let them know that you're here to play. But here we go. Spacestation Gaming facing off against Lucent on one of Spacestation's best maps.
And this is Lucent's best map as well. It's both their best maps, So we'll see who's better on down today. So far at the map number 1, which is one of Spacestation Gaming's weaker maps, Foundation, they did come out with a 7-2 damn near flawless victory. And now let's see if they can beat that scoreline in map number 2, or will Lucent force the map number 3.
The one thing I'm excited to see is when the boom shot goes down, because that's when all the static comes and all the chaos brings itself along. But here we are, round number 1 on map 2. Spacestation Gaming up 1-0 in maps, and on board with Physics from Lucent Esports. We're going to see what he does. He has Craze in his sights. He's going to offer some Lancer fire. Pushes Craze back just a little bit. Craze has teammates by him as they all collapse in to push Physics. Physics in a bad situation. He has a teammate with him in the 2v2, but he gets down, unable to make most of it. Reaction takes out Craze. I believe that's first blood. Spacestation Gaming with the double kill, taking out both Reaction and Physics. The initial is on Spacestation Gaming's side. The question is, how are they going to go about having this advantage?
All right, let's see if they can hold it. And I agree, what's they going to do with this advantage? You see Spacestation Gaming controlling that B hill. They're branching themselves out. They're controlling all that real estate around that B hill. Not giving their opponents a good footing to make a push and make a retake for the B hill. But Fractures will be able to tap up because nobody was going to risk their lives just going to clean up that kill, especially in a low respawn round like this one. You need to work together as a unit, and you see how you force him to move back. now you got a few smokes to play with from some of your teammates coming off those respawns. They need to toss them and use them, but this is where I feel like Spacestation Gaming, they gave up too much too soon, right? It was one smoke, right? Like, they threw one smoke and everybody scattered, right? Nobody actually pushed in to actually break that hill. But you will start to see a few of these Lucent players work around this back end of the map. So I like this rotation by Spacestation. Have those players on that back end get towards the spawn. That automatically stops that push from that angle, and it makes sure it keeps that spacing for your team and keep that safe territory for your squad. So you guys have a place to retreat to if need be for you guys to regroup. But as you see, Fractures will make it into this B hill. Let's see if he can make the play to get it. I don't think he can.
Unable to do so, gets taken out easily by Craze by getting hit with several Lancer fires. The Cougars in a 1v1, unable to be successful. 4 players down for the Lucent Esports roster. Domination is coming through. Reaction trying to make the most of his opportunity. Unable to do so as Phelps swings around the corner, gets a one-shot. And there you have it, folks. Round 1 goes to Space Station Gaming.
All right. Coming to the weapon selection. This is where I want Lucent to put something down crazy, and I think it's going to go to the top end of the map. One thing is about the pit, about this pit area, that boom pit, is because, you know, that's going to be pretty much one of the main fights on Dam, and Space Station likes it a lot. But the question is, do you want to go there right away? And it looks like Lucent saying, hey, you know what, let's just get these hammer bursts in play, and let's kind of play it slow for now. But the one thing is, when we've seen these teams play before, we've seen drop shots over here towards the B side at Pumping Station on the top half of that mini-map, and towards on the bottom end of the pit, we've seen a boom shot. So we have these 2 big explosive weapons on the map, and both these teams can, you know, decide to which to make the play on. Do we want to go play for the drop shot? Do we want to play for the boom shot? Both are correct plays, but once you acquire the weapon, it's all about your rotations from that point. Also, to try to see what your opponent is going to do beforehand is going to be confusing as well to see, all right, because you're not going to be able to know and adjust right away if they're playing for the drop shot or the boom shot, so you just got to kind of stack even numbers on both sides, and it's going to be a mismatch somewhere. It's going to be a 3v2 at least on one of those sides, but so far we'll see if it kind of plays out that way. So far, it's no explosive weapons on the map. But it's just with the stock weapons and the hammer burst on the map, you're going to see Space Station Gaming get control over this B hill and get 2 hills in their favor.
Yes, at the beginning of the round, our observer tried to show us that only 1 player on Lucent Esports had kills, and it was 2 just at that. Space Station Gaming completely outslaying this Lucent Esports roster, and you see them trying to pressure Lucent Esports deeper into their spawn. They're looking forward to a domination. They're just waiting for the right moment. So, by gathering intel and counting numbers, you see Space Station Gaming trying to rotate themselves around the map to avoid this huge push by Lucent Esports, but also take control of their home hill. Reaction caught by himself. Hydro goes in for the kill, unable to do so. He gets caught up with Fractures, but he takes him out with a one-shot. And Space Station Gaming continues their push for this domination.
Now, as you see, Space Station with those 2 hills under their control, they don't have a definitely just yet to the point where they only need to control 1 hill to win this one. Still working diligently to control this B hill. You got Crim taking a lot of damage. He's going to fall. But let's see how long can Craze hold off on this hill so his teammates are able to regroup with him. And yeah, he's going to stay in this fight. He went to go try to get that kill on Fractures, I believe it was, but he just was not able to. And you're going to see Lucent get control over this B hill, and they're trying to force Space Station back. You're seeing a team fire at these guys. Hydrone, he had nowhere to run. He went down right away, and now the man advantage in Lucent's favor. But you got Phelpsy on the flank. He's cutting through mid-map, and he's going to be able to decap this B hill. He's going to have a few players turn around and try to pick him up. Question is, will he get reinforcements anytime soon?
1v3, no way at all, Blaze. He gets taken out easy by Reaction and Co. But Krim and company, they're trying to push up throughout the map to try to regain map advantage once more, because Lucent Esports roster down but not out. They're trying to fight back to even this map count to 1-1. And you take a look at the score, 185 to 168. Space Station Gaming are living great with the nice advantage.
All right, so Krim, he's looking to get into this engagement with the rest of the unit. That's going to be 4 Space Station members on top of that B hill. They're losing that home hill in the process. It is a nail biter, but this B hill needs to get decapped if Lucent wants a chance at round number 2. But you're going to see a player overextend towards the other hill. So even though they didn't get, even though they did get that decap on B, the A hill got capped on the other. Oh, no, never mind. The fight was won by Fractures on
it.
Craze in the last and final moments, just when I was ready to give that round to Space Station
I wasn't
Gaming.
expecting it.
Lucent, they had a few players make some plays towards some of those dark spots on the map that we was not able to see, and that's the beauty about Escalation, is that just when we thought a team had this round in the bag,
It's gears blaze. Anything could happen.
it
man.
really is, you know. So Lucent ties us up 1-1. All right. So now Space Station. I feel like Space Station, I want them to play every weapon placement like it's their last.
We know what
Every
we all
placement
know
like
what
it's
we
their
want
last.
them to do. They know what they want to do, and we see the plan for it. You see how they X'd out the
They had to.
pumping
They had
station.
to.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like I talked about after the first weapon placement, right? That with these EU teams and these two teams specifically on this map, we've seen it split. Lucent has said the counter to the boom shot down low in pit is us putting the drop shot at pumping station and splitting away from this big team fight in this pit area. That's why Space Station has to go for that block at
Setting
pumping
up the
station.
future.
Because if they don't, then they're going to have a chaotic map like that in a later round. So they recognize that. They went for the block. I think it was the best thing that they could have did.
It's pretty smart about blocking the counter power weapon to set himself up for a big boom drop later on if they manage to lose a round. But here we are. Phelpsy takes out Zorko's back on your screen. One player down for Lucent Esports. You see a big team push. Hydron with the double kill, taking out both Reaction and Fractures. 3 kills straight for Space Station Gaming. All going to Hydron. You see Physics trying to stay alive. Full red gets taken out as well. Down and taken out by Hydro. 4 straight. Domination coming through. 2 seconds left. Zorkos gets a chunk, but unable to save his team from being dominated in 51 seconds.
Yeah, unable to do it. Looks like, you know, Zorko's kind of fell asleep in that round a little bit, but we'll see if he's fully awoke going into round number 4. And now the placement can be made. But now Lucent gets to decide, do they want to do the drop shot or the boom shot? And I think play to your strengths, right? Because if the team loves playing for that drop shot on pumping station, you know, hey, like, all right, you're gonna block it, you know, up top, then we'll just put the drop shot down low. Even though that team fight still will be the same in pit, no matter what power weapon it is, because I'm pretty sure Space Station Gaming got a lot of players who's going to be talented with that drop shot. You know, it's not a hard weapon to use, but in the end, it looks like Lucent had decided that they don't want to go to that big team fight in pit just yet. They're trying to get as many rounds as they can before that boom shot ends up getting placed in that pit. So, you know, you can tell that at least I personally can tell that they're running away from the fight. So if I know that at Space Station, then I smell fear at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, big
it was like,
time.
oh, okay, I got a lot of control over this game, huh? All right, let's see what I can do.
And on the platform 5, we're going to see a big 1v1. Cougars challenge 2 separate players, but unable to connect in a continued fight, offering a shot, hunting down the player from Space Station Gaming. But he found one, not just one, but 2 Blaze. It's in a 1v2 against Phelpsy. And so Phelpsy gets a headshot, taking out Cougars. Reaction, Fractures, Physics, all fall 5 players down for Lucent Esports. Space Station Gaming now moving in for the kill. Blaze, and domination is set in their eyes.
Yes, it is. Zorkos, first off of the respawn, can't make anything happen. No other players are coming off respawn, especially on a map like Dam. If you get slayed out early on, if you see your opponent get 3 or 4 consecutive kills,
That's a great initial.
you know, the round is almost going to be over every single time. If you're that lone player alive and you see it happen, you better try to sneak across that map, get a sneak cap on their home hill, or you got to clutch up on your home hill or something. You got to clutch up somewhere in the map to at least extend it for your team. Typically, the easy fight is on a home hill because that's where you're going to at least find one player that's kind of towards the back line as everybody else pushes towards your home hill. But to even sneak behind enemy lines would be very difficult on a map like Dam.
All right, and with the drop shot down in pit, that's the boom that we all expected, but still a great power weapon in this game. Cougars with a smoke cloud. He's offering support where the power weapon is. He knows exactly where it is. You see 3 players on the X-ray for Space Station Gaming over by the power weapon. And here we are with the team fight. Physics takes out Hydro. Phelpsy and Craze die shortly after 3 down for Space Station Gaming. Power weapon was picked up by Zorkos. 7 kills happened for both teams.
Krim is the last man standing.
Also going down. Krim by the B hill, holding on for his team, trying to stall just a little bit for his teammates to spawn.
Oh, he almost got chunked after he jammed that reload. Lucky his teammate saved him, because that's one of the that can't happen moments. But the drop shot, I haven't heard a shot just yet. So there we go. That's one drop shot out the chamber. 3 more left. That's going to end up connecting now. These players need to decide when they want to get in this hill. They need to recognize their advantages that they have, and that's going to be 2 more kills going in their favor. And Lucent will get another round on the board.
I like this.
For them to be running away from that pit fight, you know, I'm pretty sure they were kind of surprised they came out on top. But being a week away from San Diego, if I'm here and I'm practicing in the 2Ks, if I plan on winning an event, I know that all my opponents are playing for this aggressive pit fight, right?
Always.
So you just got to be ready to. I want as many reps as this as possible. I truly do. I just want
one of the best to do it.
You know, I'm not a competitive player, but if I was, I want as many reps in the pit. It'd be the first thing. I don't care if my teammates don't like the fight. I'm like, yeah, we're going to go fight it anyway. Okay, we got to get better at it. You know, we got to get scrappy, because if we're not the best at this fight, it's going to be difficult hoisting that trophy at the end of the tournament.
All right, up 3-2, Spacestation Gaming. Taking a look, Hydron up top, 10 kills, 5 deaths, and 6 downs. This guy is doing just about everything for his team, whether it comes to supporting or slaying, he can do it all. So, taking a look at another pit fight, you're going to see smoke placements down, not only block vision, but also the stem players as they move in towards the power weapon. Lucent gets the free power weapon pickup. Physics gets down, gets taken out. 2 kills straight for Spacestation Gaming. All 5 alive for them. Zorko's and Fractures in the 2v5. Unable to do much. Fractures gets taken out. Zorko's dead as well. 5 players down for Lucent.
I love the strat of Spacestation Gaming. They knew that Lucent was going to be super aggressive based off of how aggressive they were on the previous round. That round, Spacestation said, oh, okay, we're going to let you guys have it, right? Lucent, they just kind of set up around the pit. They threw delayed smokes. All right, they didn't throw their smokes at the same time, and they had at least 3 Lancer angles on top of that drop shot. They got the down. The smokes came in, stopped anybody who wanted to get in for a chance at a revive of the drop shot player. And then at that point, the players of Spacestation was able to get in and clean up those easy kills and give them that advantage. But you have to be able to try to spot your opponent being passive like that in a round. You don't. You got to have well-coordinated smokes. You got to be able to, it needs to be a player on your team that notices something slightly different in what they did the previous round and say, hey, something's funky right now. You know what I'm saying? They're not pushing on the plat. I didn't get smoked out this round. Watch for something fishy.
Yeah. Cougars fighting off players here on platform, making sure he gets his platform ring for his teammates. With the player mark, he's offering Lancer support fire, trying to get him down. Able to do so. Fractures picks up the kill on Hydro. Spacestation Gaming down in number. So here we are with Lucent Esports. They're going to try to capture the D-Hill and put enough pressure on Spacestation Gaming to hopefully stall them enough to go up big in points, or I'm not going to say domination is possible anymore. It's too late for that.
Yeah. You know, so far so good in this round for Lucent. They have 2 heals in their favor. Now, folks, this is going to be halftime. So all those power weapons are wiped off the map in the beginning of round 7. And those respawn timers, as they were increasing by 2 seconds in the beginning, they're back down to the starting time of 12 seconds. So these early rounds are going to be a little bit more scrappy. Now, with this neutral hill on top of the platform, this is going to be the point of focus for these teams early on, especially with no power weapons on the map. So that's why we're continuing to kind of see this scrappy fight on the platform. And this time, with it early on, no power weapons to focus on, it's been both teams that's been scrappy. Lucent has been the victors off 2 engagements so far, and they're holding down a good 2-cap, and they're just trying to put themselves in some power positions to best their opponent before they get any closer to this platform.
They're doing pretty well. I always say if you play against the best teams in the game, you got to make them play your game. Lucent Esports, you know, they're doing well on initials, but also they're slowing the game down, taking away these aggressive fights away from Spacestation Gaming, which is actually a huge positive for the team. So Lucent Esports can continue to control the way that this game is played out. I feel like they might have a chance to come back.
So, you know, so me, you know, one thing, Spacestation Gaming, they have been in this top 4 position ever since Dallas, right? And now they've been feeling kind of stagnant in this position. They haven't won. I think that's their next goal, right? They've got in second. They played in the grand finals. Now it's winning. So I love to point out the things in which I'm seeing that they're doing wrong, because I'm pretty sure, you know, when you're in the top 4, we can point out all the things that they're doing right. But the one thing is I'm happy to see is that their rotations on this map, you can tell with them being a lot more comfortable on this map, and this being their better map, their rotations are a lot quicker. Because if you lose that platform fight, You know, you have to get over there towards that pumping station as soon as possible. And now they've timed this push towards the last moment of this round to come out with the upset and beat Lucent, and the timing couldn't be any more perfect. And now you got two vets. It's crazy. It's Phelpsy on the home hill, clutching it up, taking round number 1.
The duo playing completely out of their mind, dominating that home hill, kill after kill, picking up their 5th round against Lucent Esports. 2 rounds away from wrapping this up in the 2-0 here in the Fight Night Finals. Reaction, putting down a weapon. I wonder what they're going to do here, Blaze.
You know, the question is that they can go for the block on pumping station again right away. I say if you want to knock it out now.
Yeah.
Okay. But they do know these dual spots are their favorable position. But my thing is, if your opponents put Hammerburst down in this spot, right, and you know that they like Hammerburst down, why you gonna put it down?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Don't make that your weapon selection. Get the one out of the way that you know that's probably the most important. And for this team is blocking the pumping station. Block that out. Let your opponents end up trickling down and doing the rest of the placements. Yeah, but you know, they're gonna choose the dual spots. Both these teams, they love the Hammerburst, so they're just gonna get it down as soon as possible.
All right, with Hammerburst down, let's see if Lucent Esports is gonna change anything up to come back 3 rounds more to tie the game up, or even best, win the map. So on board with Krim, 8 kills, 5 deaths. He's gonna look to do damage, but he gets taken out extremely fast against this other roster. Phelpsy, 15 kills, one of the main search for this roster with 2 players in his sights. He challenges a 1v1 and backs up. He saw 2 players. He went in that static Blaze, but he sees his teammate in another fight on platform. He comes up for the flank, but he didn't need to do so. Jack takes out Reaction. And Spacestation Gaming slowly picking apart this Lucent Esports roster, with Phelpsy picking up another kill off visits.
All right. So, you know, you're going to see these kills going in favor of Spacestation Gaming. They're going to have these 2 hills under their control. But Lucent, they're still trying to fight for the map control. They're going to lose a fight. This is what we like to call the baby stairs, folks, okay? The little small tiny stairs. Don't ask me how we came up with the name. The lingo was created years ago, but those are the baby stairs. And that is going to be Phelpsy winning a fight in that area, and he's actually going to win 2 engagements. And now pushing across, he's going to just make sure he gets that little decap. That slight decap forces opponents to come out, cap that hill again, but also get a more sizable lead than what Lucent has. And Lucent, they want to get this capped up as soon as possible, because as their opponents are getting 1.5, they at least need to be getting some points on that board. And now you're starting to see Spacestation Gaming get into that territory where, hey, you know, currently, yeah, they're going to win off a 2 cap, but they're going to start getting into that territory where they can just win off of 1 hill. Then that's going to make these pushes by Lucent a little bit more difficult, because they're going to have to be more flawless.
Zorko's a bit aggressive. He's taken out by Craze. Craze on a clinic, taking out Cougars and Zorko's. 4 kills straight for Spacestation Gaming. 5 down. Zorko's on the respawn, unable to get to his hill in time. Spacestation Gaming picks up not only their 6th win, but they're 1 round away from winning this matchup 2-0 against Lucent Esports.
What I'm curious is that when North American teams have to play Spacestation Gaming, do they go for their auto bans, or do they start ban? That's my biggest question, right? Are people going to be having auto bans going into San Diego, or are they going to start banning out their opponent's best maps? You know what I'm saying?
One thing Ghost Gaming did well against this roster when they played in, I believe, Vegas, of course, they did a great job of blocking, you know, where they would put down their favorite weapons, their favorite power weapons, which was pretty smart. Ghost Gaming's in. So teams, if they watch enough film, they're going to know things that Spacestation Gaming are accustomed to, you know, habits, you know, where they like to put down their favorite weapons. That's the way to stop them.
I think we're so late into the season where we just can't have auto bans, you know?
No.
But at the same time, if you just have one map that you're just, by all means, the worst at, and you're better on the other 5, then I can kind of understand it. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're trying to do. I get what you're saying. But it's just like, you know, we're close to 2 years into Gears 4, and you're still awful at Impact?
You should be good on every map at this point.
You really should
At
be.
every single map.
You really should be. Because that way, when you run across teams like this, if Spacestation in their minds, they're like, yo, damn, it's our best map. We're going to win it every time. We don't care who we play against.
Yeah.
You take out that cushion and that confidence, take that away from them.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
all right, let's see how good you are on your so-so maps, right? You already in their head before the match starts, right? And that's where I think the importance is banning out your opponent's best map. And I don't care if you're good at it, you know?
It has to happen. Take out Damn, take out Impact.
Yeah.
They can play on maps that they're
Only
not
if both
comfortable on.
teams have the same best map where I can understand, because at that point, you both just got to go out there with your best, and the best team's going to win.
Yeah.
Those are matchups I love. I love two teams who are like, yeah, our best map is lift, you know, whatever it is. And
Hey.
I want to see both you guys at your best on lift and see
May the best team win.
who's going to control the map the most, who's going to bring out the more interesting strats, and who's going to have the quicker rotations. But let's see in this one.
All right, the gameplay slowed down. The respawn timers are pretty high. You see all players live on both teams. With Zorko's in the drop shot, he looks for a kill. Takes out Crim, but he gets pressured by a member of Spacestation Gaming, Jack. Unable to finish him off. He gets taken out swiftly. Zorkos on the road, 19 kills, 4 downs, looking for his next victim. He has one in his sights. And with glance of support fire from his teammate, Cougars gets taken out by Hydro. But Zorkos is still there to clean up. 3 kills straight.
Yeah, and
so far in this week.
he has 2 drop shots in his back pocket as well.
Yeah.
This is a good round for them. They have a very, very good lead as well.
At this point, in order for them to lose, Spacestation Gaming, they have to get a domination.
You know, I remember when a boom shot used to have 3 booms. My first rule was that the first shot, I have at least one, I have one reckless shot in my clip. When I hit 3 booms, I hit one reckless across map boom shot that I was gonna shoot, and the rest of them was gonna be well-placed shots. You know, I feel like when you come down to that drop shot, you get one crazy shot. The other 3,
Just try it out.
yeah, other 3 have to be super precise, and always got to save them for the pushes.
Yeah.
Because if he had both those drop shots in the end to defend this hill, you know, it'd be a lot easier for them. But in the end, they still come out on top of this round. So they do add another one to the books.
All right, Lucent Esports catching up. 1 win, 3-6. Blaze, comebacks. How possible is this?
We've seen it happen on this map, especially with a lot of the EU teams. We've seen a lot of round 13s on Dam.
But I really liked
over
how
2
Lucent
seasons
played
of
that.
Fight Night. Yeah, no, they played it well.
They played
did.
it perfect.
You know, they were aggressive in those fights. And one thing, when we kind of heard the interview from Cougars before this one, he says, yo, we don't care who we're playing, you know, and we feed off that energy. We feed off being in the environment of those land areas and with the pressure on their back. So this is, you know, this is a pressure situation. This is the most pressure you're going to get before San Diego. And let's see how well your team is going to play it. You got Zorkos with 20 kills so far in this one, just slaying everybody out in Reaction with 12. But the rest of the crew, they need to pick it up. And Zorkos and Reaction, those are your 2 leaders, right? Those are the 2 guys on your team who's going to be calling a lot of the shots and who's going to be making sure that everybody's on the same page. But now you need the rest of the unit to step it up and make these plays happen. And we're going to see a quick pick come out of Space Station Gaming. And you see how they just throw the different strategies out when it comes to the pit, between their defensive strategies, between their quick picks, and them just being damn near aggressive and just getting in your face with those shotguns and slaying out your team.
All right, Zorko's retreating. He's going back to capture his home hill. The first hill to be captured this game after that initial fight. All players live on both teams. We're going to see pretty much slower gameplay because the respawn times are so long. But with the drop shot, Phelps is able to take out Fracture. Big advantage for Space Station Gaming if they can utilize those drop shots. Absolutely right. They can advance in a flawless way. Phelps, he picks up 2 kills, taking out Physics as well. 2 players down for respawn on Lucent Esports side. Let's see if Space Station Gaming can advance properly to win this last round.
You see Zorkos putting out those shots with that hammer burst. But I'll tell you, if there's one thing, if you know your opponent has a few drop shots in those back pockets, do not group up. You have to spread out. And, you know, I think Space Station Gaming has a good idea of where Lucent is. And now Lucent, this is a pressure situation. They're 1 push away from losing this map. The question is when is Space Station Gaming going to be the aggressors now? It's pretty much a tight game. Space Station don't have to move anywhere. Space Station could be like, no, let's wait for the next drop shot to come up, right? And in the thought process, Lucent's going to be like, damn, we can't let them get this drop shot. Then Space Station going to use the last 2 drop shots, pick up 3 kills, get the new drop shot in the round, and go to sleep, right? And that's, That's what, you know, actually that's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna call it out now.
It's a
Lucent
double-edged sword.
recognizing it.
The Spacestation Gaming, not only can they watch out for the drop shot, if Lucent Esports actually decides to go for that, their own one's going to be wide open for domination. As you see the timer go by. We're looking at Spacestation Gaming completing their 7th round, beating Lucent Esports 2-0 here on Fight Night.
You know, at that point, you have to figure out, you know, okay, we need to get our opponents to use up the power weapons.
Yeah.
Right? And then also at the same time, you need to get more map control than what you got so you're not kind of grouped up in the back of your spine, you know? Because at that point, the longer you sit there, the more your opponent gets on the same, the more your opponents get on the same page. Like, hey, we got all 5 there. You watch this angle. I got this angle. New drop coming up. Everybody, they get the middle picture. They're on the same page. And at that point, it just becomes, it's like cement, right? Yeah. The longer you wait to make that move, the harder it's gonna be to break that set.
I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna use that a lot in San Diego.